Okay, let's move on to what it costs and that financial commitment. Okay, this next part is more or less taken right out of the election pamphlet everybody received in the mail. The major piece of it is the addition to the high school, and this is many folds to it. It's the main addition of classrooms and common space, as well as the auxiliary gym room, the mechanical space, and the filling in the courtyard. All those additions will come to $44,270,000. And the next element of the cost is all the renovations to the vocational space, the old 1966 wing, the gym renovation, and the first floor of the 72 annex. And that total comes to $35,210,000. Separately broken out in the pamphlet is the cost to renovate the second floor of the 72 annex to make school district administration spaces, and that comes to $1.1 million. And the last piece of it is we must demolish the existing business department and learning center in order to build the addition, and that cost is $220,000. The grand total for all construction and renovation is $80,800,000. The good news is we already have monies from projects that were previously approved that we can take off that grand total, and that money amounts to $4,490,000. Subtracting that figure from the total construction costs comes to a bond issue amount of $76,310,000. We fully expect 60% of this amount to be funded by the State of Alaska Department of Education and Early Development. That is $45,786,000 funded by the state, leaving a local contribution of $30,524,000. Okay, so what's that mean to you? And I know this is where you'll want to pay close attention. If a property tax mill rate increase was the only method used to pay this debt, and notice that there's a big red if, because there's other options. I'll explain those later. But if property tax mill rate increase was the only method used, a property owner who owns property valued at $100,000 would pay an additional $264 a year. A property valued at $200,000 would pay $528 additional taxes. And a property of $250, which we understand as being the middle of the road for Kodiak housing, they would pay $660 a year. A $300,000 home would pay $792. A $400,000 home would pay an additional $1,056, and a $500,000 home would pay an additional $1,320. Now let's get back to that big red if. What I just described is considered the mill rate equivalent, and the property tax increase I described would be used if it was the chosen and only method to pay this debt. But there are other options at the borough's disposal. While we recognize some increase to the mill rate is likely if this bond passes, we believe it is possible for that increase to be drastically reduced through other financing options.